PJNet.TV Part 2, and we are running the bumper. We have Del Didway standing by. We have the chat room patiently waiting. We are recording and we are streaming. We'll switch to Studio 8 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, welcome back to PJNet.TV as the technical problems continue, but we are surviving. We are still standing. And thank you for all of you in the PJNet.TV chat room and all of you watching on Facebook, Twitter, or even YouTube. We invite you to come join the chat over at PJNet.TV. But every Tuesday about this time we're normally done, but we're just getting started. But folks, I promise you, what you are about to see is worth the wait, because we do this every week, and I can assure you, you are about to be completely blown away with this man right here, Del Didway, who blogs at deldidway.com. Del, while I take care of some housekeeping around here, could you tell us about the miracle that you found over the week?
Yeah, baseball miracles. Of course, I've actually known about it for about 2 months. I'm just now getting around to writing the blog about it, and it was come down through a friend of mine who told me about it. He's a scout for the Boston Red Sox, and he was telling me about it. He said, "Hey, your buddy Clint's involved in this, Clint Hurdle." And so I, naturally called Clint, and we chatted for a while about it. And he says, "You got to talk to JT. He's the guy who started this whole thing." And JT was he's a lifelong scout for the Chicago White Sox and was been with them forever. And then he started this what's called Baseball Miracles, and it's a great organization. It's only been around just for a couple of years, but what they do is what a lot of these nonprofits do, and they do amazing work. And Clint Hurdle got involved with it. He was approached, so I called Clint, and he said, "Man, this is the real deal. It's a great organization. What they do is they go into parts of the world. They've been into, I think, about 10 countries right now, and they hold these baseball camps for underprivileged kids or kids that haven't been exposed to it in the past, and they're given a baseball glove, a hat, a ball, a T-shirt. They're taught the fundamentals of baseball, and they're also given this nice traditional baseball meal, hot dogs and French fries and things like that. And then they're also go out in the community, and they are shown how to be good stewards. And so it's a great concept. The kids pay nothing for it. It's obviously charity. And so they're doing a great work. I mean, JT told me, he said, it's what we do to serve man that defines us, and not how much we give or what we do, but how we serve our fellow man. So, yeah, I thought it was a great blog, being as though there's no baseball right now. So, in fact, I just got an email. Players are to report July 1st. With the season starting towards the end of July, 23rd, 24th, 25th, somewhere around that time frame. Mm-hmm. But so Baseball Miracles, obviously, great organization. I'm going to try to get involved with them. I wouldn't mind going on a trip with them.
Where all do they go?
They go to. I know they go to Puerto Rico. I know they go down into Mexico, and countries like that are impoverished. Who have kids with needs. I know when we went to Puerto Rico, when my youngest son was on a travel baseball team, we went to Puerto Rico twice, and we went into some not touristy parts of the country. So we saw poor people. I mean, poor people playing baseball. So we've seen that, and that was a great trip. We had a couple of funny stories out of our trip down there. Our coach told us, to make sure we keep everything on us. People steal a lot down there, and that's just the way it is. So we were in San Juan, which is where all the touristy people go. We were having a game there one night, and we're watching all of our stuff. A coach said, never put your glove down. Somebody else swipe it. Never put your camera down. Somebody else steal. So, it's like in the third inning of a game, and there's a police station right behind left field, and the umpire calling second base was actually a police officer. And about midway through one of the innings, he starts running off the field. Somebody's breaking into his car during the game by the police station. And so yeah, we saw a lot. But we went into some poor areas. I mean, where no running water, no electricity, and we're playing baseball games out there. So we've seen the good parts of Puerto Rico and the bad parts of Puerto Rico. And so I know this organization goes into places like that, teaches kids fundamentals and teaches them the basics, gives them hope and encouragement, gives them a message and presents the gospel to them. That's what Clint liked about it. He says they get down to it. They teach them the game, but they use the game as a tool to show them what's really important.
Mm-hmm. You and Clint go back a ways, don't you?
Well, we've just known each other for about 3 years now, and but I consider him a good friend. I mean, I text him. I said, "Hey, you got a couple of minutes? Sure, call me." And because I knew he was involved with this. But we met Clint. I interviewed him for Dugout Devotions. Never met him before. I was in Cincinnati, and the Pirates were in town. I asked for some time after his press conference, and we chatted for about 10, 15 minutes about his testimony. And I left him my card. I said, "Well, thank you for your time." And, I always leave my card. And then the next day, and this was probably 3 years ago, the next day I got a text from him saying, "Hey, it was great to meet you, Dell. Let's stay in touch, Clint." I said, "Hey, that's pretty cool." So, and we did. I mean, he followed my blog, and I started getting his updates every day through his text messages and through his emails. And then, I didn't bother him, but if I needed something, I just reached out. He would always comment, he'd comment once in a while on my blogs. And so, and that was one of the things that helped sell the book, Dugout Devotions, this is ironic because I'm down in Florida pitching this book to a publisher. And one of the editors said, "Can you get some endorsements?" And I said, "Probably." I said, "Do you have anybody in mind?" And she said, but she didn't. Ramona never knew me from Adam. She said, "Well, it'd be great if you can get like Clint Hurdle." And I said, I think I can. And so I was actually the next week going over to Bradenton, Florida, where the Pittsburgh Pirates have their spring training. And I met up with Clint. I said, "Hey, can I stop by for a few?" She said, "Sure, come on by." So I went by. I got him to do this little video. He said, "Hey, this is Clint Hurdle with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I want you to read Dugout Devotions by my friend Dell." And so I sent that video to that editor. I said, "You asked for this and you got it." And she says, "Wow, who else can you get?" So, and then Clint was gracious enough and to appear with me in Pittsburgh at a book signing at a Barnes & Noble there. We had a great turnout. And so, yeah, we're friends. I mean, I can call him up and chat, but I don't abuse that. It was funny because one time I did a blog about this restaurant that I love down just south of Clearwater. It's this little dive, man, but it's really good seafood. It's called Keegan's Grill. And so I wrote a blog about it because we were just down there. And, man, they got the best grouper sandwich. I mean, it's been on diners, drive-ins, and dives. So, but it's just one little mom-and-pop restaurant. If you drive by it, you would say, "I'm never going to that place." But it is awesome. And so I did this blog about it, and then I get a text from Clint about a week later, about 5 a.m. or something like that. He goes, "What's the name of that restaurant you blogged about?" I said, "Keegan's." He goes, "Okay, great. I'm going to go there." And so, in fact, when we were talking about this, about Baseball Miracles, I put Clint on speaker, and he's living down in that area now because he retired, and he wanted to say hi to my wife, and he says, "Hey, Angie, when you guys come down, we'll all go to Keegan's." So So yeah, that's it's kind of nice to have somebody like that in that position who's a genuinely nice guy, who's has all the resources he could have, through Major League Baseball, but he has a special needs child, great perspective on life, and just the 5 to 10 minute conversation we had turned into a pretty good friendship.
Well, he's got his hands full, and well, and I guess so do you. You've been busy. You've got a book you just finished, or I can't keep up with you.
Mhm.
You
I
don't.
need to hire somebody to help me. Yeah, Kyle Young, my agent, and I have a book coming out in about 2 weeks, actually, on July 7th, I think. It's called Michigan Motivations, and then on August 10th, I have 2 releases. Hopefully college football will be back in swing because all 3 books deal with college football. Michigan Motivations, but then from Indiana University Press, and then Auburn Believer and Bama Believer are to release on the same day because of the big rivalry between the 2 schools. And we're hoping that takes off on August 10th, and we can get a lot of play out of that. And then, so yeah, I have those 2 this year, 3 this year, 3 next year, and 2 after that. So yeah, we've been busy, but it's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's amazing that you can't make this stuff up. You have used your sports writing background, and you stake your claim on something that would seem like very solid ground, college football.
Yeah. I think it'll happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure, pretty confident. In fact, I did a post last week for one of the publications that I write for, explaining why I think there'll be college football, and obviously because the pandemic starting to go down, we think, but when you look at college football, it is a business, and it's a lucrative business. I gave statistics based on last year. Just one example: the Ohio State University, their football alone brought in $110 million to that university. And what does that do? That funds all the other athletics. That funds your non-revenue producing sports,
Right, in your Title IX,
your scholarships, everything like that. So if you don't have $110 million coming into your university, there's going to be massive layoffs. There's going to be programs stopped. So it is football, yes. It's a sport, yes. But universities survive on it.
Well, and at first when you said 110 million, I thought that's a low figure. Well, it is a low figure because that's only how much it's bringing to the university. Look at all the restaurants. Look at all the hotels. Yes. Look at all the airlines. Look at all the food. I mean, gosh.
Yeah, and when you add up all that into that city, I mean, if you look at parking is $15. You have 110,000 people come into that place. And what you mentioned, you get souvenirs. You have all the restaurants and all the bars and all the tailgating that goes on, and what you mentioned, all the hotels are around that university. So it is people will stay miles outside. We were up for the Ohio Christian Writers Conference, and there was a Buckeye game on that Saturday, and we were staying down 12 miles south of Columbus, and there was people there going to the game. They came in with their jerseys on. So if you've never been to one, I mean, it's a huge attraction. Again, Michigan, has the largest stadium out there. If they can't fill that stadium, 10 times a year, then they're going to be hurting financially. And if a university doesn't have that money, oh my, you're talking massive layoffs. You're talking programs cut. So it is a sport, yes. It's amateurs, yes, but it is a business.
It's big business, and
big time dollars. Talking television revenue and ads, it all trickles down.
And when you look at some of the compensation of the coaches, you shake your head saying, how could anybody be worth that much money? Well, I think you just answered that question. is winning
Yeah.
programs produce money.
Yeah, and I've got nothing against capitalism. If a person can go out and make that, that's great, and I applaud them for doing that. But I still roll my eyes to think when some of these people turn professional that they really get paid, 30 to 40 million dollars to play a game.
Mm.
And again, I'm all for capitalism, but I thought, are they that? Really? You don't need to make that much money. And then it becomes egos and it becomes a competition. Well, I want paid this amount. And I think if they make that much money, I would put in their contract, you guarantee a title, or else you're getting cut.
Well, yeah, I would put some performance-based
Yeah.
criteria in there. I mean, make it bonuses. There's a lot of ways to structure that, but of course, with
Uh,
coaches, they and not only do they get these big contracts, we just had a situation at Florida State where we we tried to get
yeah,
rid
yeah,
of one, and it would cost a lot of money to fire these people. I mean,
yeah, it does because
the
you got to buy
amount of
out the
money he
contract.
got paid to not work blows my mind.
Yeah,
$15 million to leave.
yeah. And then you get
I'd
into
have
some of
left
these
for half
players,
that.
and I don't care if some of these players get something, because they're making the university's making a lot of money off of them, and if they get if somebody gives them a hamburger, I mean, they could
Mm-hmm.
really be
Yep.
put the program in
Mm-hmm.
jeopardy. I think that's silly. I mean, they are getting their education paid for. I do get it, but there's got to be some give and take, some common sense has to enter somewhere. But these coaches at these big time universities, yeah, they make quite a bit of money. You're talking $7 to $10 million for some of them, and they better win, or else they're going to go.
Yeah, it's the winning that pays. But here's the funny thing: win or lose, I don't think many people have any idea how much work is involved. Because when you put it this way, if you're a spouse to a coach, you're going to be alone a lot.
Well, I won't say who it was, but there was a well-known coach. He won a couple of Super Bowls. When he was hired by a certain team, the first thing he did was file for divorce. I mean, that was that, and that's no joke. That's what happened. He says, "I'm going to be here all the time. You're not going to see me. We're done." I
Yeah,
guess that was more important than family. So, yeah, they live and breathe it, and they stay there all the time, just to put that W in the column, which brings in the dollars. But so that I think we got off track, but that's why I wrote. I think there'll be a college football season because I don't know about the spacing. I mean, if you've been in these college stadiums, they I think they built these when everybody was skinny, and because you see the rows, and it's like if a row has 75 seats in it, you're probably going to get 30 of them in there
yeah,
because of how disproportionate we are. But
yeah.
I
I've been
just
in
cannot
airplanes with more
fathom.
seating.
Yeah, yeah, I cannot fathom. Ohio State has 110,000. I can't imagine saying, well, only 50,000 get to enter.
Yeah,
Are
I
they
don't.
going to jack the prices up? I mean,
Well,
they're ungodly high right now anyway. I mean, when you go in there, if you can't take a bottle of water, I can buy a bottle of water for 99 cents, right? $5. You got to use $5 in there for a bottle of water. So, and people drink that and the beer is like I don't drink beer, but it's up there. I mean, it's
yeah,
like $9 or $12 for a cup, and yeah, so it's crazy.
yeah. Well, it's Coach Bowden did speak, and he's a good guy, and
He
he
is.
said he spoke. He had his standard speeches, and one of them was success and
Mm,
significance. That success is meaningless without significance, and if you sacrifice your family, if
yeah,
you sacrifice your faith, for success, then you are no winner. I don't care if you win every single game and win the national. Yeah, he was a good guy.
yeah, he
He
is.
had things in perspective. So,
Hmm.
well, always an interesting time, Dell. And you
Hmm.
have found, I don't know what you must look under every rock to find these stories because I don't
No,
know.
it just kind of came. It was kind of presented itself, and it was good. Just happened to know Clint, and Clint introduced me to JT, and so that's another friend we've made, another contact we've made. And again, I said, hey, I'd like to go with you on one of these trips. maybe next year. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. I'm
Yeah,
supposed to
while you're
go
at the
to
Olympics
Tokyo.
in Japan or something. Yeah, while you're
Yeah, I hope that happens. Yeah. But hey, I want to say, I mean, I know we got a pretty good sized chat room. Thanks for everybody being out there. I see Rachel and Connie and Ben and Becky, and then and my friend Amy's on. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I want to thank everybody for being out there.
Well, Dale, they are never disappointed. They did not come to see me; they came to see you, and you deliver. You're a winner, and we appreciate you sharing with us. Thank you for yielding your time tonight to allow Kurt to have
That's a
his
good
story
show.
told. Yeah,
That's a good show. I
I
like
enjoyed
that.
it.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Didn't know about him until now. And but Dell, thanks a lot, and get some rest. And we'll see you about
Oh,
this
well.
time next week.
See you next week. Thanks, everybody.
You're Dell Didway, right here on PJNet.tv. Well, it's been a late night, folks. It's, that kind of night, been a little crazy, but you know what? We got it done, and I'm so glad that all of you hung in there with me, with us, and we continue to press forward in spite of the obstacles that stand in front of us. I hope you'll visit PJNet.tv like I am doing right now, and on there you will find a link to our schedule. And you can find that tomorrow night will be the 24th. And we're going to have, for the, oh boy, get ready, Dave and James from Exercise Your Faith, along with Michelle Medlock Adams. What an exciting time that's going to be. Can't wait for us to reassemble, and hopefully we'll have everything humming and running smoothly. Oh, the phone company is going to install the new internet tomorrow. I know you've heard that before. You heard it May the 26th. You heard it June the 1st, June the 2nd, June the 8th, June the 12th, June the 18th, and on it goes. But nonetheless, we'll just keep, praying and working on it and all that so we can have more people on here and do stuff, okay? Listen, it's time to go. I really appreciate you all. Before I leave, I want to leave you with two questions and a challenge. The first question is this. What is the boldest thing you've ever done for Jesus Christ? All right, and here's the second question. When was that? You see, folks, I think the challenge to be a successful disciple of the Great Commission is to never be satisfied with either answer.